does that say about how we see ourselves?
I don't know. I think that ultimately, like, it's hard to not compare our Nollywood to Hollywood. And also, we just don't have the monetary weight here. Like, when you think about the highest grossing Nigerian film, whatever the amount is.
Call it a billy.
A bill. What's $1 billion in dollars?
My shoe. Yeah, because I keep trying to like avoid doing certain things.
Video.
I think my whole career,
Like, avoid being in front of the camera.
bruh, like it's so strange. I don't know, and it sounds crazy, but I feel like I spent a lot of my career fighting the aesthetic parts.
Okay, I get you.
Of
Like,
what
it's more about the content. It's more about you know. Like, what are we really saying here? That's what it's about.
I was like, let me just work.
I get
But
you.
this is part of it.
I know.
Temi, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
It's the StormCast, guys. For those of you who are just joining, the StormCast is really like my little time to share with you thoughts, musings, etc. But you know, it's a new season. I'm upgrading thanks to all the wonderful people in my life who forced me to just do better and be better.
I love it.
So now I also have guests on. And with me we have the phenomenal Temidayo Makanjuola.
Temidayo Makanjuola.
Makanjuola. Sorry, don't be annoyed.
It's
You
okay.
people.
I know. But imagine hyphenating that name, Abudu Mako. It just
It's
feels
a lot,
very long.
yeah,
Temidayo.
yeah.
Temidayo is already a long name.
Temidayo Makanjuola, who is, I think, one of the most diverse creatives we have in the Nigerian entertainment scene. I don't think a lot of people honestly realize how much Temi does. She is a producer, she's a director, she's a casting director. Now you're in the food space now, I see.
I am. I love food. You know, yes, I am in the food space. Now, I used to like own a food catering company back in the day, like in what year was this now? Like 2014?
Ooh.
2012. Between 2012 and 2014, I ran a healthy like salad smoothie company.
Is it?
Yeah, and then I had to just put that away and focus on film and TV.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about. I'm so fascinated by the careers. So a number of the people I'm talking to, and you especially, the reasons I have you on is because I feel like, one, I've interacted with you on a personal level in some way, but I really admire your career and I admire what you're doing work-wise, knowing that it's not an easy path. I think being in the entertainment space is a calling.
Yes, it is. It is. I think anywhere in the world, but most especially in this part of the world, definitely.
It's 100% a calling. And the first time I met Temi and I worked with her, it was a work call. You called me to be on the set, on the reel.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Baby.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
I never met this girl before. I didn't know who she was and what she was doing. And I remember, because with every production there are always challenges, right? There's no production you're going to go on that is smooth. And even when we had challenges, I remember being so I don't know if the word is encouraged or soothed or just, I was like, she handles problems well.
Oh, thank you.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be problems.
Yeah.
How you address it, how you deal with it. For me, that is a deciding factor on whether or not I want to work with you going forward in the future.
Yeah.
And then every time after that, I just saw you sort of like growing and you just kept doing better and better. So I just wonder, when did the calling hit you for entertainment? When did you know, all right, I'm going to do this?
Wow. Okay. I mean, I think when I was about 19, I think I was just graduating from university. And my mom was already doing Moments with Mo. And I knew at the time, like, I thought I wanted to write books. I thought I was actually working on a book.
Wow.
Yes. So I was writing this novel, and, you know, I was writing pages, and at the same time I was living in London, and I didn't really like think about TV and film like as a career until I saw my mom do it, pretty much. And then I was like, okay, then I would come back to Nigeria, and then I would like intern, or I would just like shadow Priz. I don't know if you know Priz.
Yes,
Priz,
I remember Priz. What?
On some shows that they were working on. I remember there was this, it was EL Runway. That was the first set I'd ever been on. And I went for one day, and the set ran until like 3 in the morning. And they were shooting at Protea in Oakwood Park. And I remember calling my mom. I was like, Mom, it's 1 a.m. and we're still here. I'm so tired. Like, I
wake up.
And my mom was like, okay, maybe just go and sleep in the hotel room. And that was like my first thing on a set. And I was like, okay, maybe I could produce, you know. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I could write shows. So that's actually when I came up with the idea of On the Real. So I was working on this novel in London, and then Giddy Up came out, and I was like, okay, TV is like a real thing now, like where I'm coming, like where I'm from. So I was working on TV, on a TV show called On the Real, kind of writing it, putting it together. Then I came back to Nigeria, NYSC. My mom's like, no, you can't work for Ebony Life. Go and work outside. And then that's when I started my food business, because I was like, I don't really want to work outside. My mom doesn't want me to work with her, and I'm very passionate about food and cooking, so I did that for a bit. And then it wasn't until like 2015 that I was like, okay, I can't put this feeling away any longer. Like, I need to be in this space officially. So again, I went and I was like, okay, look, I really want to produce. Just let me try it out for a little bit. Let's see how it goes. My mom was like, fine, sure, come. And then in 2015, I started working at Ebony Life.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of been a whirlwind since then. So yeah, I would say probably, I guess in my early 20s is when I realized like, okay, I want to be in the creative space.
Okay.
And just kind of figuring out which way I was going to do it. I thought maybe I'd be like a copywriter. So I first actually started my NYC placement at DDB for a little bit. And it was cool, but I knew that wasn't going to be like me forever.
Was it a bit limiting?
It was a bit limiting.
Because client is like, well,
yeah, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And obviously I started off as a copper, so it's not like I had, much responsibility. But it was a cool working environment. I learned how to use Photoshop in that office. Like, I learned kind of how to like write very short like, what do they call them? Like, not log lines, but as a copywriter, you have to get what you want to say in one sentence.
Yes. Yeah.
So I learned how to do that at DDB. So it was cool. I met a lot of people. It was interesting, but I knew that wasn't going to be me forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, actually. I had no idea that your mom said no.
She did. She was like, no, go and work for other people. I don't want you to work for me right now. You need to go and gain experience outside. And I'm like, okay. So I started off at DDB. Whilst I was at DDB, I started working on my company, on my food company, and then actually eventually left DDB and just focused on that for a few years, and then eventually moved to Ebony Life.
Okay, I have so many questions. But
Okay.
we'll
get through them.
Small by small, each by each, we're gonna go.
Okay.
So I wonder, of the many hats that you wear, which do you find to be the most fulfilling? And this is a twofold question in terms of financially rewarding,
Okay.
but also pure cultural impact, like emotionally fulfilling.
Emotionally fulfilling, definitely film. Like, definitely.
And film what as
a writer director. So I started off as a producer, which was great for me at the time. I think I was young, lots of energy, lots of time. You can stay on set till whatever time. No one is, it's like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Back to back, I can shoot 4 films in a year, 5 films in a year. Let's go. I'll go anywhere in the world to produce.
Yeah.
But then I think as I got older, kids, I've got 2 sons who are in school, and I'm like, I don't think this producing thing is like, I love making movies, I love making TV and film, but not as a producer anymore. So I'd say most emotionally fulfilling would be writing and directing. Okay. Definitely. Okay. Financially rewarding, I don't know. I think, I don't know, like, to be honest, when you make that hit from whether it's film, TV, whether it's a podcast, whatever that's making you money, like good money, it's very fulfilling. It's like, okay, I could actually pay my bills.
Yes.
doing what I love. But I don't think that's always the case. You know, you have highs and lows. I think everyone knows in this industry, like, you know, today you can hit something big and it works out, and then tomorrow it's not that big, but you're just gonna push through it until you get the next big gig, right?
Because that's a topic that will forever be of interest to me and fascination to me, because I've been working across the entertainment industry for quite a few years now, and I always wonder financially, because every time I go into a new space, and I remember making that shift, the proper working shift from media, from radio and TV to say, okay, I'm going to be an actor. And then I remember the first paycheck I was offered, I was like, I don't understand.
What does this mean?
What is it? What do you say this money is for?
As in,
no, you laugh. I called Ihoma. She'll never forget. Ihoma, I was like, Linda,
what?
These what they're offering me. I don't understand. What's this money supposed to do?
It's very eye-opening, isn't it?
It was shocking.
Yeah.
It was shocking. And so I sort of wonder now, going into the how are creatives living in Nigeria? How do you think? And is it financially sustainable?
It's a hard question. I think that some people have managed to like find a system that works for them. It's hard to not like taint your work and your craft and still like maintain like a certain lifestyle, like a certain, like, you know, certain income into your account. Like I find you have to take all kinds of gigs to be able to like stay afloat. So it's kind of hard to, it's hard to pick and choose. Some people are more privileged than others. Like, but I find not everyone in this industry has one job. Yeah. You have to be good at a lot of things. You have to be good at a lot of things.
No, that is me.
Okay.
I do all the jobs.
Do you get like so? You got to do that.
So that's true. I therefore wonder, because we are culturally quite global now, and I say now, I always felt, which is what led me into the media space, that Nigerian culture would eventually form a part of global culture, and I think we're at that point where Nigerian culture is always referenced when it comes to global culture, and I dare say a lot of global culture right now is looking kind of Nigerian to me, you know. I'm gonna marry a Nigerian, and you're gonna wear gele to my wedding.
To my wedding.
That's the energy globally right now. And so there is a lot of celebration of that, but is it matching up to what our counterparts as producers globally, because they're able to live off this one thing? What do you think needs to change, or what needs to adapt to get us there?
I think our systems, like the systems that we have in place, need to be more robust.
Okay.
So we've come from, I guess back when like 50 came out, for example, you know, cinema was big, even wedding parties, cinema's huge. You're going to cinema, you're making all this money in the cinema. Not all the movies are, but you're making decent money in the cinema. And then Netflix and Amazon Prime come in and kind of disrupt that system and are paying people quite well. And then they're not there anymore.
They pulled the rug
out from under us. Oof. And then you start to think, okay, what's next? Then there's YouTube. Everyone's now going on YouTube. But ultimately, like, it's saturated. Like, how many people can make a massive living off of YouTube now if everyone is making a movie on YouTube? So I don't know. I think you just kind of have to be creative. You also have to be, what's the word? Like, very resilient. And you have to look outside for money, basically. Like, as a producer or a filmmaker, not all that money is in this country. A lot of that money is outside of this country. You have to find your way of how you're going to get it. And I think once you're able to kind of get some global or international recognition, that helps you better here at home.
You know, but to me, that's the thing that terrifies me. Because now it's a question of value, right? A lot of what we consider valuable is now related to the external gaze, and by the external gaze is the Igbo gaze, you know, because external, but that is the category of how we're moving. Because I see it on sets that we work on sometimes when we have sometimes foreign technical experts that show up or technical crew that show up. I see the discrepancy in how our foreign crew and local crew are treated. I see the discrepancy in actors as well, how foreign actors and local actors are treated. I see the discrepancy as a performer myself, if I get, you know, some recognition. I recently did like a little job that, you know, for like a global airline. And all of a sudden there's like 10,000. Oh my God, amazing. I was like, I was in this thing for like
for 2 seconds,
bro. It's not
I know.
Cool, but I've been the lead in so many Nigerian projects, and you know, you get half the comments. I know. What does that say about how we see ourselves?
I don't know. I think that ultimately, like, it's hard to not compare our Nollywood to Hollywood.
Yeah,
we know the massive global phenomenon that Hollywood is, right? So it's hard to not like put the two next to each other, side by side, and look at it. So when you have like a Nigerian actor that is now on a big Hollywood production, it's hard to not say, oh my God, that's amazing. Because first of all, you're like, she got paid. Second of all, I mean, like the access and the reach that this person is going to get is amazing. And also, I don't know, we just don't have the weight, like the monetary weight here. Like when you think about the highest grossing Nigerian film. I mean, okay, whatever the amount is. And let's
call it a billy.
A bill, right? What's $1 billion in dollars?
Marshall.
Do you get what I mean? Not to say that, of course, it's a huge achievement.
Yes, it's
you know, for all those people to go to the cinema and pay to watch your movie. It's amazing. But you know, what is
last what does it mean?
What does it really mean?
So it's like when I go on a holiday. So guys, I don't know about you people, but let me just share something with you. When I do go on holiday in the overs, I reached and I told somebody, I was like, I'm globally poor. they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I'm globally poor, because the spending power I have in Nigeria versus the spending power I have in what we like to call hard currency
is different.
It's so different, and it makes me weep. And it's a continental issue as well. It's really not just a Nigerian issue.
No, it's across the continent.
But I do feel like there is a shift coming.
I do think so.
Yeah,
I do think so.
I just wonder when.
I think it's slow. It's gonna be very slow. I don't think it's something that's gonna happen overnight. And I think that it's gonna be hard to do it alone, like as Africans. Because even when you look at a Nigerian film showing in Kenya, for example, actually a Kenyan producer was saying they don't even have, how many cinemas do they even have in Kenya? You know, so even if you want to say, okay, African filmmakers just focus on the African continent. How do we even what is the value of that?
What's the value? What value? And it's always a question of value. How much value are we really deriving from ourselves and our people?
And I mean, there's many factors that affect these things, like, you know, policies, poverty, you know, all of that. So I think that's why it's going to be almost near impossible to depend solely on us.
I think the global financial architecture is rigged against us as Africans.
So. Yes.
I really do. Yes. But we're going to have a discussion about this. And it's separate. Let my little communist tendencies also start coming out. No, because I'm serious. It's crazy when you really think about it. Like, how can we be, as Africans on the continent, we can barely trade with each other. We don't have any currency we can trade with each other. This is what things like the African Continental Free Trade Agreement is supposed to deal with. And then you'll have one wicked political player somewhere demonizing it and being like, no, this is not. I'm like, bro, get out the way.
As in, we need this. We need this. Even like traveling across the continent, like from country to country, it's wild. So the connectivity between us is barely even there.
It's so tough, and it's by
hard.
design.
So how do we, you know, so there's so many like layers and levels and things to overcome before we can finally reach.
I will say randomly, and I don't know that it's related, but this is the way my brain works. So everybody, you're gonna have to deal with me. Is maybe Dirty December can help us. Now let me tell you what I mean.
Okay.
You know, shout out to the foolish people that came last December and they were doing chargeback and cancelling charges that they
terrible and wicked. I can't believe.
The thing you are sowing, may you reap it in front.
Don't come by and do that this year, please.
No, so this year they've warned, businesses have been warning everyone, we're not accepting your international cards. And I'm like, are you saying that the Naira is king?
As in Nigeria? Amazing.
Who would have thought it?
Amazing.
Who would have thought?
But best believe people will still be collecting cash though.
Cash for sure.
Cash for sure.
But even at
the Naira will be circulating.
The Naira is, yes, it will be in so much more circulation, because I was speaking to a friend of mine and he was telling me that he already has, batch A have already arrived.
Okay, yes, of course.
Batch A, welcome, we appreciate you, welcome, you are welcome.
Early November, let the shenanigans begin.
Happening, the cultural scene is buzzing. We're busy right now. And he was saying that a friend of his had gone to the village.
Okay.
And needed to do some stuff, and so gave somebody dollars.
Okay.
And the man said, "Why am I supposed to change this one now?
In the
Go
village.
and give me Naira." And I was like, flex.
Yes, I love it. I don't want your dollars.
You don't want it right now, okay?
I don't mind, but some people don't need your dollars.
I spoke too soon. If you would like to send me dollars,
please do.
I do accept.
I accept
all currency. Dollars, pounds sterling. I'm an international babe. Thanks.
I love it.
No, but it's cool. And I think that's kind of the cool thing. And I would really like to see the systems in place that will help us harness that. I know somebody who set up this financial payment system so that internationally people can use their international cards to buy Naira.
Okay.
And so you have a Nigerian bank account, so you can do it. In Nigeria, we collect money every which way. You can transfer.
There's some apps that are really good right now.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah.
And I always say it when I travel, I'm like you guys are so backwards, because in Lagos I can pay with card,
cash,
phone,
transfer
hashtag
USSD.
Like what? And then I go to places, I go to America, and it's like, oh, you can't even do a transfer from
you can't even you can't even pay. There's some banks you can't even pay cash into your bank account.
That's beside. So guys, what we have ways to go,
but we're also kind of quite advanced in some areas.
Yeah, and that's what necessity is the mother of all invention.
As in for real.
When you cannot guarantee that your bank card will go.
As in you use hashtag. Don't worry, I'll do hashtag 767. I'll be 737.
Oh my gosh. Okay. A couple other things I sort of want to go back on.
Okay.
I know you'd mentioned how earlier on as a producer you could produce to whatever hours. You could do all this stuff, but then you made the decision to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wonder, especially when it comes to women, what that process has been like, because there's so many stages of being a wife, of being a mother, of being the center of a community, because I personally feel that women are the center of communities. They are the gatherers, the family bringers, and there's a real cost to that. And I wonder, first of all, when did you sort of make that decision? Did you know how soon after finding your partner, who I love, he's like a childhood family friend of mine?
Yes, I know, that is adorable that you guys do each other from primary school days.
Was my mom.
I know.
Guys, let me not be emotional. So it was so beautiful. Like, first of all, even seeing that wedding. So from finding your partner to making a decision to have children, to deciding how many children you were going to have and what that would look like in your career. I'm really curious. Especially as someone who has chosen to be single for such a long time, what that process has been like for you, and if at all you struggled with any of those decisions, even knowing that you wanted to make them.
I mean, from when I was dating my husband, I would be on set all hours of the night, and I think he already knew from the get-go that, okay, this is what this babe is going to be doing, when she's on set, that's it, and then I had my first son, and then I went back on set, and it was very different. Like, I will never forget going back on, what set was it? We were shooting Ebony Life, and I think it was the first day or the first night that I'd left my son. And I got really emotional, and I was like, oh my God, I'm here in the middle of the night. He's home without me, and and I found like, okay, my husband has all these pictures and videos with my kids at night when they're together, and I just felt like I was missing out.
Did you feel guilty?
I felt guilty for sure. I felt like I should be home. And in the beginning, it's like you want to prove to everyone else that
you can do
I can do this. Like, I'm here, obviously I'm senior producer on the project. I have to be there. So I felt guilty. And then I got pregnant again just before we started filming Blood Sisters. Just as we were prepping to film Blood Sisters, I got pregnant. And I was very sick. And I was supposed to be senior producer, like lead producer on Blood Sisters. But I was too sick to be like the lead producer. So I had to just kind of take a step back, be involved, but not as involved because I was like throwing up every 5 minutes. And it was quite bad, I was quite sick. And then again, you have the baby. I was away for a while. And then whilst I was away, I remember getting the call for sugar, and we're supposed to start the process for sugar, and we actually got the job, which was great. But then I had a newborn and a 2-year-old, and trying to juggle that. And I remember having to rush back to work. Just like my son was not even up to 9 months, and I had to be on set for sugar, and I felt so bad because with my first son, it was COVID. So I spent like all that time, pretty much a whole year at home with him. And then with my second, I was like back at work after he was like 4 or 5 months old. So I felt super guilty about that. But as they get older, it gets easier in a way. But I won't ever forget, just earlier in the year, I was working a lot, always on set. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to pick up the boys from school, or I wouldn't see them. I would see them in the morning, and then I wouldn't see them until the next day. And I remember my son saying to someone like, my dad, I love my daddy. He's so funny. But my mom is always working. And I was like, and then he'd see me, and then as I'm about to, let's say I'm just going downstairs to get some, say, Mommy, where are you going? Are you going to work? Don't go to work. And I'm like, oh my God.
Sorry, no.
So I'm like, but your dad works. Like, it's not like, your dad works too. But obviously my hours are don't fit in like the standard time, of with 9 to 5. So I noticed that this is something that was clearly, he wasn't upset about it, but clearly
it was having an impact.
He was having an impact on him. So that's when I'm like, okay, this whole being on sets back to back, for months at a time. I don't know how sustainable that is going forward forever, like into the future. And I do want to be there for, my kids. Like, we do homework together after school. We have swimming lessons. We have all these extracurriculars. And of course, you can put things in place to, to kind of help and support you. But I would really love to be there for those things. So, I had to kind of make a decision to, like pull back in some way.
Do you know what's so interesting? Like listening to you talk about how that felt for you, it set something in my brain, because sometimes when generally people, and I will say myself as well, you look at male producers and female producers, and when a male producer, has become a dad, you don't get the sense that they're quite as impacted. And there is a bit of judgment there. And I'll say bias, I think, on my part as a woman, because I'm like, oh, it's so unfair. Why is the woman, now she's expected to go do this? But listening to you talk, it's less about, and maybe there is that factor as well, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But I'm getting the sense that it's less about what other people are expecting and more about how you feel being separated from this very important stage of your child's life.
Yes.
And the sort of bond you have with the child as a woman, is different to how the men bond with the children. So
I mean, again, also, I mean, me working at EL, and being an on-set producer with EL, I think over time we adapted that I'm not the only one, like the only producer on set. So it got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm on morning duty, and then once it's like 3 or 4 o'clock, because my husband and I pick up the kids from school, we don't send anyone to pick up the kids. So if he can't pick up the kids, I've got to pick them up. So it's like, okay, I've got to go. Like, I'm sorry, but I've got to go. The same way, like, I have some like bossy and makeup artist on set. She has to bring her baby to set. Because like she has to work. But everyone is like, cool. There's a baby on set. That's what it is.
We'll make it work.
And so I think people also understand that, okay, mommy has to go. Like,
Yeah.
if, whether it's a co-producer or anyone that's around me, it's like, okay, yeah, she's got to go.
Yeah.
She's got to go sort out her kids or whatever, because that's what moms have to do.
Yeah.
So I would definitely give it up to the people that I've worked with have been very super accommodating of my needs,
Yes.
of the things that I want to be able to do as a mom, because there's some places you go that they're like, nah,
No, I can't.
you can't.
That is something I was going to say. I will actually give a proper shout out to Ebony Life,
Yeah.
because from inception till now, I've seen the growth. I've seen the processes like in place so that people can have lives, so that there is balance. There's so many considerate and thoughtful workers
Yes.
on the production.
Yes.
And I feel it
Yeah.
as an actor, and I
Yeah.
think that's a huge thing in a workspace. I do wonder also that, do you feel, if it wasn't EL and when you look in other spaces, do you feel that there perhaps is extra pressure on women, even if the new mother wants to be on set? Do you think that there's any judgment there sometimes of like,
Why
should
is
you
she
be here?
here?
Yeah. Why do you?
I think culturally it's like,
Yeah.
you should be at home with your baby. Like, why are you here? You
Yeah.
know? But also at the same time, I think we're getting kind of used to seeing working moms a lot, like in all aspects, doing different things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, I mean, this is Lagos. Me, I'm used to seeing working moms around me. So, I don't know. I've not been in that type of environment where, they're like, you should go home and don't be here, or I can't give you a job because you're a new mom.
Yeah.
I've not been in that type of environment, but I do know that some people do experience that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Okay. I'm going to shift a little bit now.
Okay.
And so my next thing is around, like, do you consider yourself successful?
Yes, in a way, yes, I do.
Okay.
I do think I still have a long road ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think
So I guess the follow-up question is, what does success look like to you?
to me.
Yeah. Right now.
For me right now, success is independence in the sense of like creative independence.
Okay.
And the recognition of that independence. Of that creativity and that, being independent and creative at the same time. Because of the way I started my career, working with my mom, it's been successful in that, I've gotten the opportunity to work on very successful titles. I've gotten the opportunity to work with a lot of great people, and I've learned a lot. But I think I'm at a stage now where I'm looking to grow myself more as a writer and director, and looking for that big moment for me, in terms of like, what's my next big film, or what's my next big TV series, and what is the impact? What is the impact of that? I think it's more of the impact, and really standing on my own 2 feet and saying, okay, you know what, I did this on my own, and I did something impactful on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I would say I have been successful, but I do
so.
think that there's still like a very long road ahead. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that also then, in line with that, I am someone who, I come from a family where my father's a lawyer.
Okay.
And I tried to step away from that, and I've come into it, and I recognize how quite often you are compared to your parent who is quite successful, and your mother is an extremely successful individual. And I wonder how much of that do you ever feel that when people see you, they only see her? 1, 2, are you bothered by it at all? And 3, I guess it would be, how do you navigate that, dealing with being in a similar line of work and then dealing with such a highly successful parent?
I don't think everyone sees me and sees my mom. I think there's some people that see me as an individual, and I know I know those people. Like I know those people. Like I can feel
That's
it,
true.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind it. You know, I think it's more of when, if I'm just trying to do something on my own, I don't like to be introduced as, oh, this is Mabudu's daughter, before I even say my name. You know, because that happens a lot. It's like, oh, like, you know, even in a workspace or work, you know, like as if mom, as if Nancy, fine. But in the workspace, it's like, okay.
It's disrespectful.
It's a bit like, I have a name, you know. But again, like, she's an amazing like role model, person to look up to. We're very similar in the way of like, my mom wears a million hats and she can do a different, you know, she can do so many different things. And I think we're similar in that way. In like, we don't want to just do one thing. We love to do different things. So I do love to have her as someone that I can lean on and depend on and get advice from. But at the same time, I think right now I'm really more like focused on me and how I'm going to do what I love, like kind of on my own. Yeah. Because as a filmmaker that she is, and me too, it's hard to, you know, when two people have similar goals. Yeah. You kind of have to just take some time and focus on what each of you want to do. Yeah. Sometimes they're not going to always align. Yeah. They're not even always going to like. They're not even always going to. What's the word? Complement each other. Yeah. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So what I love though about my mom is like she will give me the space and the room to do my own thing, and I will do the same for her. But we're always supportive of each other. Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah. I see it a lot. I remember the first time that I see it with people who have very successful siblings, very successful parents. I know that I walk into spaces and it happens in the legal space because I do consult at the law firm as well. Okay, nice. And I go into spaces and they're like, you don't know Josie. I'm like, wow, sir, as in I got a name, you know, a whole individual. And even when I was younger, before I started doing media, my older brother was quite popular in school. Okay. And so even till now, and people are like, that's your sister. I'm like, wow, bro. Like even now, as my I'm on TV, bro. Like you don't know me. I have a name. I'm more than TJ's sister. I know. So it's hectic. But then even saying that, I know that my experience working in media, I will segue off this, but it's the curiosity. I'm just with you currently. Problem. Your mom has come up in so many news articles. A lot of them are positive, but some of them are not, and they're quite negative. And I see it when people start frothing at the mouth. There was a particular commentator that I used to work with on a radio station. Okay. And once your mother's name came, like she hasn't done what. I'm like, bro, why are you so angry? Why are you mad though? I'm like, you know what? You don't have to like the individual, but stop trying to put down the work that people have done. I see it in publications where someone's done outstanding work, and then you go and start talking about who they're dating or not dating. Yes. Why are you in somebody's bedroom? Why? What does that have to do with anything? Yeah. And that's crazy. And I wonder how much of that you have to deal with, because you have not. Sorry, excuse my stomach. Which is hungry. You don't seek out fame for the sake of fame. You work, and I believe that people knowing you is often a byproduct of the work that you have done. Yes. But it's also now for you, fortunately and unfortunately, a byproduct of the work your mother has done. So I wonder what that's like for you when people ever just throw up like random negative things or come to like, we want to ask. How do you deal with that? Social media now, you know, you see all kinds of crazy things online, and a lot of the time I have to kind of hold myself back from commenting or like. But I've blocked a few people because I'm just like, you're a hater. You just have negative emotions and you're just full of negativity and you don't really deserve to be in my space or in her space. Sometimes I even have to talk my mom down from like, you know, because she gets sometimes so upset by some of the things that people say, because like all my mom wants to do is work. Like literally that's all she does. So for people to come up with all kinds of comments and statements, to me, it's really just a waste of time because you're not really, whatever it is you're trying to get, you're not going to get it.
You're not going to get it.
You know.
I love that. Good job. Nah, stay on that because people are angry. You know what is economy? You people, I know sometimes we're hungry, we're distracted. You are not looking for who to pour your anger on.
The anger is serious.
Please direct it. So moving away a little bit beyond the frame, I want to go into the other areas of life that you're exploring. What is Prawn and Spice? What's up with that? I just saw that post the other day on her Instagram and I was like, oh, I do like food.
I do.
Talk to me about food.
It's my new baby.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I just come up with something. I'm like, you know what? Let's turn it into a business. Let's do this. So I make this like garlic prawn dish. Usually when I have like get-togethers or things at home. And it's gotten very popular. My husband loves it. A lot of my friends love it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see what I can do with this business and turn it into like a little bit of like a catering company, catering business, doing events and things like that. Not really like your day-to-day, I want to order lunch, one order. Okay. I think it's more of like I'm looking at doing more big events rather than, like...
So scale catering.
Scale catering. But it's really delicious. I started baking bread. So I started making... I've started making focaccia to like go with the prawns.
Focaccia.
I know, very fancy.
Fancy.
Oh. And then I also because I cook a lot at home. Well, not a lot, but I would say like a good amount of the time I'm cooking at home. Okay. So I experiment with all kinds of things. I make dumplings. I make this garlic prawn thing. I make a lot of pastas and all of that. And I think after not being in the food business for a while, I think my eyes have kind of been like, I want to get back into this thing. Like I really enjoyed doing it. So that's really what Prawn and Spice is. It's just, I guess, a little bit of like a side business that I've started. I will see where it goes. Nigerians love food. Hopefully they'll taste the food. They love it. So,
we do
follow
like
Prawn and Spice. If you have an event, come and order from us.
That is it. You're welcome. Please. I know. That's so nice. No, I love it. So like what other like random things are you really interested in that people don't know?
Like home stuff, like homemaking. Like sometimes I think like if I lived in America, like Home Depot would be like my go-to. Like I would be a carpenter in a second life, or like a painter or a DIYer.
You do a lot of DIY stuff.
I try to because in Nigeria I find it's quite limiting.
It's hard.
It's hard to like you want to go and buy paint. You have to start which markets you start entering to go and buy the paint, to go and buy the brush.
Then there's what the paint is technically called. Then there's what Nigerians call it.
Do you get?
And if you don't pronounce that thing
you
right,
won't get
you're
it.
not gonna see it.
Or the tools. Like I want to cut wood. I have to go inside the market to go and cut the wood. So that so obviously you find carpenters and artisans that can kind of help you do those things. So like doing up our the boys' room, we just recently did up their room. We put new paint in, did a new bed, rearranged it. No, it's not themed. It's just a new color. And it's very cute. Like we're very, very proud of very, very proud of the bedroom. So I think like DIYing, cooking. I love doing hair as well. Like but I had to lock my hair because I was kind of just done.
Same. Like that's I used to like really be obsessed with just hair things. I'd sit on YouTube all the time figuring out. But that's how I started like this hair and skincare thing that's coming back, guys. You heard it here first. Yeah, but it's fascinating, especially because paying to braid your hair in London. I know one's be giving anybody that kind of money.
It was during COVID for the first time that I braided my hair by myself for the first time.
Isn't it crazy? The arm workout.
The arm work. It took me 2 days, and then I remember it was COVID, so I told my husband, I was like, I just braided my hair. You owe me £200. And he tweeted it, and the tweet went viral. Like literally everybody was like, pay her money. She braided her hair. Like I think I have to find the tweet. Money. Of course. I mean, he paid me in other ways, I guess.
Back, let's go.
He made me in other ways, I guess, but the two went viral. It was crazy. But yeah, that's when I first started braiding. I braided my hair for the first time. I was like, I'm not going to pay nobody.
I like it. It's women supporting women's rights.
You know,
pay women for the unpaid
pay them
labor.
for their
Braiding
work.
hair is unpaid labor. Please
It is.
pay us.
It is.
I love that. And then just to kind of round up this our chat, it's been great chatting with you. Thank you so much. I could actually just keep doing
Keep
this.
going,
but
right? Yeah.
I know that, people recording are looking at me side eye somewhere. They also ask me who's going to edit this.
Where's the time?
I guess, it always comes to the segment where people are like, oh, give advice. And one, do you even like giving advice? Because does it, for me, it often feels like there's still so much you're sort of discovering in life. But if you could share things that you are still learning, and that you feel you wish you knew when you were younger at the beginning of your career, and what you know now, like what would that be? What would you put out in this space? And just general for anyone who just has kind of stumbled across this and it's like, oh, that's interesting.
I would say keep learning. Like, I don't think you start doing something and then you think, okay, I've made it and I'm done now. And, I think there's always room for improvement. There's always room for learning. Even if there's something that innately, like, you're very good at, I think that there's always ways to hone your craft and become even better and better at what you do. And I think us being in this environment, it's very easy for us to be like, oh, you kind of get the hype from your peers or other people around you. Oh, you're so good. Oh my God, you're so great at what you do. Like, you're amazing. Or, but like, you need to constantly like level up and get better and better. And that's the only way I think we can even compete with anyone else around the world, is by getting better. And I think so that's one thing. And I think sharing information with peers, when they say you don't always have to network up, you can network across, and I think that's really important. And that's something that I've learned probably in the last few years, is networking across with your different peers, because those are the people that will help you when you need something. Like when I made my first feature film, I think I called in every favor in the book.
That's a nice in 2005.
2005.
Yeah.
I called in every favor in the book, but that's because these are all relationships that I've been building with different people over time, and it came time to kind of like cash in the chips, the chips, and they came through for me. I think that's the only way I could make that film. So networking across, keep learning, believe in yourself, the cliche stuff, but it's true and it's real. Like, every day you have to wake up and look at yourself in the mirror and say, it's gonna be a good day.
Oh my gosh,
I can do this.
How much imposter syndrome stresses you out?
It stresses me out. Trust me, I'm talking about Porn and Spice now. Do you know how long it took me to post that video? It took me, I've had it for a week. I've been thinking about Porn and Spice for 4 months or 5 months. But yesterday I was just like, you know what? Post it. Just do it.
Go off.
Go off. Some people you think all kinds of things. My husband has this thing that he says with his art now. It's called ghost thoughts. And it's the things that you think other people think about you, but they don't exist. So you just have to, like I said, look at yourself in the mirror. It's gonna be a good day. I can do this. Keep going, do it.
It's like the quote from that movie, like, fear isn't real. Danger is real, but fear isn't.
Yeah. Because it's what you make it, right? So you just keep doing what you want to do. Just keep doing you. I guess that's the advice I would give, and that's what I would say to my younger self. Keep doing it. You're amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Temi, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I was even going to ask, which do you prefer being called? Temi, Ted, what?
I think it depends on the person.
It depends on who.
It depends on who. Most people call me Ted.
Yeah.
A lot of my childhood friends call me Temidayo.
Okay.
So I don't really mind whichever one. You call me. What do you call me, Temi? You call me Temi sometimes.
It flows, but probably Temi quite a lot.
Yeah, Temi is cool.
Yeah.
Just don't ever call me Dayo. Ever.
That's a
Don't
fighting,
ever call me
those are
Dayo.
fighting times.
That's if I will, you know.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good to know. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you for having me.
Guys, this episode we've recorded it at the CEP Entertainment Hub, which is a pretty dope space. So thank you guys for letting us. A big shout out to Rixel Studios and Canon, of course, who helped me film this, which is so great, you know, because I too am calling in all favors. Shout out to networking across.
I love
Believe in
it.
ourselves.
Thank you so much. This was fun.